Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, however that goes. I borrowed that from my buddy Mike Zuber. Live here on YouTube, here to answer any and all questions in regards to mortgage, in regards to real estate. And just as a reminder, my plan going forward every Tuesday, live at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to bring a guest to talk about the housing market. I've got plans for a 1031 exchange expert to come on here and talk 1031 exchange. Mike Zuber is going to come on here. We're going to talk all things rental real estate. I'm going to pick his brain about everything he's learning from the students of his one rental at a time community. I talk to, a dozen or so, it feels every day, one rental at a time students. So investors across the country. Going to have my buddy Ryan Lundquist back on and probably have him as a quarterly guest. I'm going to see if Mike Simonson from Altos Research wants to come on, Logan Matashami from Housing Wire. For me, it's a lot more fun to not have to talk for 45 minutes straight. So having a guest on provides that. If you guys have any ideas on guests, more than happy to entertain that, reach out, see if they're available and willing to join me on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Matt plus guest. I think somebody mentioned last week, Jeb Smith. Definitely have him on my list of people to reach out to. I have a list around here somewhere, which I will get to. But today's topic, pending home sales bouncing back. I want to get your perspective because it's one thing to look at headlines that make for good news articles and make for more clicks. It's another thing. What are you seeing, hearing, feeling in your local market? I know in Sacramento and surrounding where I'm at, it feels like more and more spring buyers are coming to play. More homes are coming on the market. And, it's only natural that we're going to see home sales growth. Somebody on one of my videos recently predicted that home sales for the year of 2024 were going to be down from 23 and in the 3 millions. Whoever that is, wherever you are out there, please reach out to me. We'll find a third-party person to escrow the money. We will bet any amount of money you want to bet that home sales nationwide 2024 is 4 million plus. I know that from every single metric, anybody who's paying any attention, home sales in 2024 are probably going to be up 15 to 20% from what they were last year. Again, we're talking number of sales. So for people that misconstrue or maybe misunderstand home sales numbers, I'm not talking about prices are going to go up 15 or 20%. Strictly number of homes sold. Last year, we hit a record low, and I don't remember the exact number, but it was around the 4 million homes mark. And so that's going to be up 15 to 20%, no matter how you slice it. So today, I'd love to talk about new listings, what's coming on the market. And my buddy Ryan Lundquist has some great data on that for Sacramento. But then also pending home sales. Let me show you this index, which of course there's all these indexes that are tracked for nationwide stats. And I think that nationwide stats, while generic and your market will vary, give us kind of a picture of what's going on from a wide lens perspective. So maybe I'll make that bigger. I probably got to zoom it. Where's the zoomaroo? Can I zoom? There we go. Boom. Pending home sales index. This is over the last 5 years. Less and less home sales. Here's 2022. Rates go up. Pending home sales come down. And they cratered. This recent tick is January, I believe. And so if we're talking, pending home sales growing, there was a stat I looked at recently, and it was about a month old, but it was looking at 8% pending sales. And this was probably like late January. So it was talking about January of 23 versus December of 22. You might be able to argue seasonality plays a pull in that, but I think it's probably fair to say that the number of home sales will trend upwards. The limiting factor right now, the thing that's holding us back, in my opinion, based on hundreds of pre-approved buyers and hundreds of conversation, is the amount of inventory. If there was more homes for sale, if there was more homes that people wanted to buy, there would be many more sales. And slowly but surely, we are getting more listings. More homes are coming to market. I'll show you quickly Sacramento and a quick little graphic on new monthly listings. Because first we need new monthly listings. Then we can have more pending sales, because it's hard to have pending sales with limited inventory. And that's really what's holding us back, in my humble opinion. So here's a cool graphic. Ryan Lundquist, Sacramento Appraisal Blog. If you haven't checked his stuff out, you got to go check it out. The red line is new monthly listings. And January, the numbers were up. If you look at this chart, what's that? Probably 1,350 to, call it 1,500, up 10% maybe in January. I'm trying to eyeball what this number is and then what that number is. I'm going to call that 1,350. I'm going to call that 1,500. That's halfway between 12 and 18. I'm going to call that 15. Eyeball drywall. That's what my construction dad used to say. So that's up 10%. Similar 10, 12% increase in February. So more and more listings. This is, again, one market. This is Sacramento region, Sac, Placer, El Dorado, Yolo County. But I'm sure a lot of markets are seeing similar trends, similar growth in new monthly listings. Promise you, it's going to translate to pending home sales increasing in the future. So let me know what you're seeing in your market. If there's more sales going on, if there's not enough for sale, and that's holding the market back, which is, my story, and I'm sticking to it. Hundreds and hundreds of pre-approved buyers, they will buy as soon as they find something to buy. So fire away all your questions. If you're watching this on repeat, feel free to fire the questions in the YouTube comments, or if you found it on LinkedIn or Facebook, fire the questions away there. I try to get back to all of them. If you're watching live, let's have a conversation. It doesn't have to be about, pending home sales or listings. It can be anything mortgage related, real estate related. Kevin Hawthorne, thanks for joining, man, from Lakeland, Florida. I appreciate you. Happy belated birthday. Sunday was your birthday. So Sunday was March 3rd. So you're a Pisces. I've got both boys and my lovely wife, all three Pisces. That's why the shoulder tattoo is 3 fish. Those are my 3 fish, my tres pescados. So happy birthday, Kevin. Thanks for joining, man. Josh Burdick, thanks for joining, my man. Hope all is well with you, fellow one rental at a time, community member. Great community, man. Great meeting you. When was that? Weekend before last? It all melts together. Fire away your questions. This is why having a guest is better, because then we can just bounce stuff off of each other. You guys don't rely on little old me to continue to talk for 45 minutes straight and, have dry mouth and all that. If we're waiting for people to comment and ask questions, that's fine. I got something for you guys. I'm just going to pull up an interesting article from my buddy Ryan Lundquist. And I told you guys, if you're not going to SacramentoAppraisalBlog.com, you're missing out. This stuff, regardless of where in the country you are, really, really interesting stuff on the real estate market. This article specifically is about a Rancho Cordova home with 147 offers. And I was going to create a little bit of a contest, like where do you think it was listed at and what did it finally sell at? But some of you guys might know, if you want to get 147 offers in a market, you know, Rancho Cordova is one city over from Sacramento. So it's, you know, basically from my house, you can drive 5 miles east and you're in Rancho Cordova. They incorporated as a city, I think 20 years ago or so, but average price is probably 400 to 600. This is a 1,700 square foot house, and they listed it for $199,000. I don't know anything about this, to be honest. I just saw the article, but as you can imagine, pricing something in a neighborhood that garners $400,000 to $600,000 home prices at $199, you're going to get a lot of offers. So, listed at $199. My guess is it wasn't in great condition. But before I get to the number, hopefully I don't spoil it. What do you guys think this thing sold at? I really enjoy Ryan Lundquist stuff. I can't recommend this Sacramento appraisal blog enough, man. You know, painting the market with extremes, the temptation in real estate to build a narrative on one or two properties, right? Like, oh my God, the market's on fire. One house sold 200,000 above list price, or oh my gosh, the market is tanking. This luxury home that was listed at 2 million sat for 187 days before selling at 1.7. Like, you can't create narratives and talk extremes when you're talking about one or two outliers. So far we got Inessa with a $350,000 guess. We're getting close. Inessa listed at 199, got 147 offers. If it was in great condition, it'd probably sell for $500,000 to $600,000. But my guess is this property wasn't in great condition. Keep the guesses coming. Jorge Realty, thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Tony Uke, what's up, my man? Hope all is well. Out and about hustling, driving in Roseville. Let me know. Don't type while you're driving, but let me know what you're seeing out there, because I know you're talking to buyers and sellers all day, every day, as a 30-year veteran of real estate. So I'm sure that you're getting some insight on buyer psyche. One thing I will say is that unfortunately, there's going to be people in these next few years that run into financial hardship. There's no hiding. There's no, glossing over the fact that there's $1 trillion in consumer debt. There's no hiding from the fact that there's marriages falling apart. There's people dying. There's all kinds of different things going on in the market, which, in a time like this where sales are limited, I'm seeing more and more of the sales being life events, right? Coming together, getting married, buying a house. People are divorcing, selling houses. There's, people that are moving to a care home, selling house. And so that's really driving the real estate market right now. And I think that is something that is more apparent in a market like this with not a lot of sales, right? In 2021, when there's a bazillion homes selling, there's 7 million plus homes selling, the distressed sales or the need to sell or the life event sale is less apparent because it's a smaller percentage of the total sales. Jorge, I can't tell if you are serious or not about buy crypto. I haven't looked lately, but I think Bitcoin is crushing it, right? We've actually got somebody who's buying a home who's a big crypto guy who sells a course on how to arbitrage or something to that degree. But thankfully for him, he's diversifying and buying some real estate because he can touch the home. He can feel it. It's a real thing. Not discounting crypto, but just saying you don't want to be all in just one asset class, especially if it's something digital that you can't see, feel, or touch. Just my 2 cents. All right. Everything's getting 100 offers. This is the great stuff from Ryan Lundquist, right? Is painting the market with extremes. I almost gave away the price. Inessa's the winner because she's the only one that guessed. $199 listed price, 1,700 square foot place in Rancho Cordova, sold for $425. And again, like if you want to get 147 offers, price something that market value is 400K plus. In this case, of course it was because someone paid that. Price it at $199. You get a lot of eyeballs, a lot of offers. I'm curious, when somebody is on the buy side and they are an agent with a client, are they doing some of the legwork to save their clients the time, effort, and energy to even write an offer at 280, right? Because I would think, and I'm thinking out loud here, and I'm trying to give advice that maybe resonates with some people and helps some people out. Have an agent who you like and trust, and they're a professional, and you listen to them. I see this because I work with a lot of buyers. A buyer sees this and they get really excited. What the buyer needs is, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, this thing is going to sell for around 400 grand, if not more. So if we think we have any shot at 280, let's just throw that away. They listed it at 199. I'm not sure their exact marketing tactic, but they're trying to get a lot of action, a lot of eyeballs. They want to sort through a lot of offers. They like the pain of that, whatever the case may be. Give the buyer that feedback so that they don't get their hopes up, so they have realistic expectations. Unfortunately, what happens is half of the agents, well, I'm not going to offend good agents by saying this, so I'm not worried about agents being mad at me, because if you're a bad agent, you're a bad agent. Bad sometimes is still good intention, but you just don't do it enough to be any good at it. These agents wouldn't even necessarily know. And if they did know, maybe they don't have the, confidence to tell their client, let's not write an offer at $280,000. It's not worth the paper it's written on. It has no shot. Anyhow, I better stop while I'm ahead. Josh Burdick, what do you got? Found an off-market duplex, asking $600. Current rents are $1,750 each side. Market rents will be $2,000, $2,200, but not sure when lease is up. Good area, not much else near this price. Most are $700 plus. You know what, Josh? This sounds similar to some of the markets that I look at in Sacramento. And, depending on the goals, this is going to be one that's just really hard to make the numbers work. Purchase scenario templates. I'm going to run a quick template. Conventional purchase estimate. Oh, here we go. I've got a template for investment 20% versus 25% down. And if I put in 600 grand as a purchase price, and I've got %20 or 25% down, I'll show you. Let me pull this up. This is good, fun exercise. And then you tell me if you're looking at it the same way. This is not an offer to lend I'm going to show this estimate, which before I get flamed in the comments, I want to add a disclaimer that this is just an estimate. All right, so that might be hard to read. Can I make myself smaller? Make this bigger. This is just principal and interest, because when I put this together for a client, this is what they wanted to see. But if you're putting 20% down and you got a 799, it's 3,500 just in P&I. If you're putting 25% down, it's about 3,185. 600 grand, you know, California, that's 7,500 a year in property taxes. So $600 a month plus homeowners insurance, you know, probably getting in the 3,900 a month PITI with 25% down, which, I mean, everybody's got different goals and different objectives. Like if it's in a really nice neighborhood and, you know, you're paying the thing down over time, it's a break even at 2,000, but over time the rents go 2,200, 2,400. You know, you might refinance out of this 7.6 into a 6 or a 6.5% down the line. Like, not the worst thing in the world, but I think it's just, I want to do this exercise just because I think it's a common Sacramento scenario that I'm looking at, where whether it's, you know, near Sac State or in Tahoe Park, there's a lot of B minus neighborhoods where you can get a nice duplex that it's 2.2 on each side for 600. And this is what the numbers will look like. Principal and interest, 3,185. Add tax and insurance, add 700 to that, you know, so you're 3,800, 3,900. You're going to have some maintenance. So if you're collecting $2,000 and 2,200 on each side, it's a break-even deal, which is not the worst thing in the world. Break-even deals that appreciate 6% a year and that rents go up and you have tax write-off and you have principal pay down can make you hundreds of thousands, you know, even millions over enough decades. So thanks for allowing me to entertain myself with that little exercise. Just for S and Gs, Josh, if you're putting 30% down, you said 20 to 30, then you got, you know, a sub $3,000 principal and interest and probably 3,700 with taxes and insurance. So remind me, Josh, what market are you in? My memory is fading fast because early onset dementia or something. Yeah, shooting from the hip. So rough numbers, rough chat, just good old let's run it and chat about it type stuff. All right, you guys let me know who you want to see on future episodes. I plan on having some good conversations. Let me see if I can pull up this Google Doc where I've got a list of potential collaboration conversations, YouTube live guests. Zuber already said yes, he's in. Jeb Smith. I think some people mentioned Tristan from Lab Coat Agents, having some past closed clients on to talk about deals for sure. Logan Madashami. Let me add Mike Simonson. I got some friends from the ORAC community who might oblige coming on here and just chatting real estate talk. Eastern Washington. Cool. All right. I think that's it. I got to get back to work. It's a busy Monday. People are out there making it happen in real estate. So thanks for joining. Leave the comments down below if you've got a guest you want to see. I'm not sure who's going to be the guest next Tuesday on the 12th. But 12th, 19th, and 26th, I'm gonna book 3 guests and we're gonna have some fun. Thanks for joining. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.